Whittward Carver, Adulting for Dummies. When you realise you've peaked at pretending, ever wake up and think, bollocks, I'm supposed to be an adult today? Welcome to the club, mate. The second you hit a certain age, society just expects you to have your shit together. Spoiler alert, none of us do. Take my mate Dave. He's got a proper job, a mortgage, and a pension plan. Sounds like he's got it all figured out, right? Wrong. Last week, I found him in his garden at midnight, trying to coax his pet hedgehog out of a bush with a can of tuna. Dave, I said, you're a 35-year-old man with a hedgehog problem. This isn't adulting. This is a bloody wildlife documentary gone wrong. And don't even get me started on relationships. You spend your 20s looking for the perfect partner and your 30s realizing they don't exist. My friend Sarah thought she'd found the one. He was charming, handsome, and had a great job. Then she found out he was cheating on her with a bloody video game. She walked in on him whispering sweet nothings to his PlayStation. Sarah, I said, you've been replaced by a pixelated princess. It's time to level up and find a new quest, love. Then there's the whole kids thing. People tell you it's the most rewarding experience of your life. What they don't tell you is that it's also like having a tiny, demanding, flatulent dictator in your house. I babysat my nephew last week. He looked me dead in the eye, dropped his trousers, and pooped on the floor. Then he smiled like he'd just won the bloody lottery. Mate, I said, you're 2 years old and you've already mastered the art of psychological warfare. Bravo. And let's not forget about the joys of home ownership. You spend years saving for a deposit, only to realise that your dream home is a money pit with dodgy plumbing and a garden that's basically a jungle. I spent last Saturday trying to unclog my bathroom sink with a coat hanger and a prayer. This is it, I thought. This is adulting. Standing in a puddle of water, wrestling with a clump of hair and a coat hanger, wondering where it all went wrong. But you know what? Despite all the crap, there's something strangely comforting about the absurdity of adulthood. It's like we're all just winging it, pretending we know what we're doing, and hoping no one notices we're still kids on the inside. Take my neighbour, Mrs. Johnson. She's in her 70s and she's got her shit together, right? Wrong. Last week she knocked on my door at 3 a.m, wearing a dressing gown and a pair of wellies, holding a torch and a shovel. Whittward, she said, I've just remembered I buried a time capsule in the garden 30 years ago. Fancy a dig? And you know what? I did. Because in that moment, I realised that adulthood isn't about having your shit together. It's about embracing the chaos, finding the humour in the mundane, and never losing your sense of adventure. Even if that adventure involves a dressing gown, a shovel, and a very confused hedgehog. So here's to the adults who are still kids at heart, to the Daves, the Sarahs, the Mrs. Johnsons, and everyone in between. Keep pretending, keep laughing, and keep digging. Because you never know what you might find, or who you might find yourself becoming. And remember, when all else fails, there's always tuna and a coat hanger. Banging.